Alrighty, hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Keep It here, bringing you the second episode of Bugs, Bounties, and Complaints. I hope you didn't mind that pause at the start of the video. I simply wanted to show off the Christmas music that the guys had made. It was absolutely fantastic, and I really enjoyed it. It was a really nice touch to the game for the Christmas season. So now in this episode, we're going to be covering a whole lot of bugs and even more complaints. So without further ado, let's get started, shall we? Alrighty, so I'm going to start off with a bug I have, loading vehicles into challenge modes. As you can see here, if you've been watching the screen for the last minute or so, I went into the R&D test chamber mode and I was able to load up all of my vehicles without issue. And I could search through them all the vehicles I had ever made in any of the challenge modes, all that stuff. But when I actually go to the challenge modes themselves, whether it be the Rocket Challenge or the Wing It Challenge, Terra Firma, Racing, none of them want to load. Okay, it says there's no vehicles in the inventory, and that's just a little strange. But now moving on from that topic, I have a bug to report now, and that is if you whip the cab off of a vehicle while it's in build mode, the parts get left behind in build mode. Now I can understand this being a feature, because in game, if you want to store your vehicle without it rolling away or despawning, you can just hop it in build mode and then rip yourself off. But it doesn't look like a feature, it looks pretty buggy, so I'm going to report it as a bug. And now moving on from that topic, I'm going to start bitching about how much I dislike gyroscopes. That is right, gyroscopes. They're just not strong enough. I have a vehicle here, very simple design, just two wheels, and it should be able to turn without a problem. The gyroscopes should get rid of the centrifugal force on turns, but it's completely unable to do that. They're just not strong enough. I just feel like there's a lot of things they could have done with the gyroscopes which haven't been done. Making them stronger is going to be the first things that they can do to improve on it. Alrighty, the next thing I'm going to cover is the lack of propulsion given off by propellers and fans. The vehicle you first saw me playing with, I feel should have been able to fly, and the overall lack of carrying capacity of the fans is rather ridiculous given their size when compared to everything else. Now, of course, once you get to bigger vehicles, it's easier to make things fly because you can add more fans, you have more room, but I feel like the smaller vehicles should be flyable too, to make flying more valuable early on in the game. So just increasing the thrust given off by those guys would be great. Now I've got a small bug to report here, and that's that the wheel gets stuck in the ground until you either put on another wheel or prop up the plane somehow. Complaining time, why can things be destroyed in creative mode? Just a really, really annoying experience when your shit breaks when you're trying to work on it. So in honor of my frustration, I have made a montage of my stuff breaking. Also, you're going to notice that the spawning buttons and the tweeting buttons disappear when you die in creative mode. So if you die in creative mode, you can't just grab another cab and get started. You have to restart the whole creative mode, which is just a little silly, and it was more than frustrating, I assure you that. Up next, I'm going to be showing you the greatest amount of suffering I have ever experienced in Terra Tech, and that is trying to get into the garage I made. I've heard a lot of guys on the forums going, when are we going to get a garage? When are we going to get some kind of vehicle that I can drive my bot into, They want physical structures. So I figured I'd be able to show off the fact that we can still make these structures using the base building blocks we have. Take some turrets, slap some building blocks on there. But I had so much trouble actually getting into the garage once it was made. I had to try a plethora of vehicles to get up there. And when I did get up there, I experienced this weird glitch where I couldn't enter build mode. I could slam B all I wanted, but I could not get the vehicle to flip over or right in itself. And when I tried to just take off the cab and just place it down in the garage, I realized another flaw with this building. The garage, you stick to it. It's made with building blocks, so you can't just toss the cab onto the floor, so to speak. So I was trying to recreate that bug I experienced again, so I got up there a few more times, and despite pressing B, I did not get that glitch again, so I'm not too sure what really happened there. However, I was able to viciously beat myself to death by picking myself up and dropping myself in build mode over and over again because of collisions, which was more than a little silly, I assure you. But now moving on from that and onto a more positive topic, I'd like to cover this week's bounty. This week's bounty is going to be simple. Beat my vehicle. My vehicle averages about 50 kilometers an hour in the turns and is able to do the slalom just fine. I'm going to be reaching an acceleration of about 109, 107 miles per hour, and also the acceleration is going to be about 4.25 seconds, as we can see in this short little clip right here. Now, I don't want your submissions to be overly big, but I will accept any vehicle. Oh, and yes, you will get bonus points for sexiness, because I think this vehicle looks really nice, you know? It's got that nice frontal nose cone, everything's pretty sleek, the guns look good. But, you know, to each their own when it comes to taste on vehicles. If, you know, you think it's sexy, submit it. If I like it, bonus points for you. So to beat the vehicle and get the bounty, very simple. All you need to do is have something that turns fast, has a high top speed, accelerates fast, and looks sexy as hell. And also, if you can make a vehicle that doesn't get stuck on the little bumps here, like mine does, I will give you even more bonus points, because that is a massive flaw in my vehicle. So, it's simple. Just go to www.terratech.com/forums, or whatever the link is, I'll toss it in the description, and you just gotta submit it on there, and you can get a Steam card or a game given directly to your Steam account as the bounty reward. Thank you for listening and tuning in to this episode of Bugs, Bounties, and Complaints. Don't forget that if you liked it, you can find more by simply liking and subscribing. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.